Hey guys, today we have Nikon's latest all-weather series of camera, the AW120. It's a successor of the AW110. It's a waterproof, rugged series of camera. That's why you call all-weather AW. So on the Coolpix series of packets and DSLR series, you'd see a difference in the color code. The DSLR series has that black and orange color code, and here you see a more colorful ones, really yellow, white, and orange. They're slightly different, slightly Coolpix cameras, but definitely more distinctive than the DSLR line. So that's the one. We have the orange model. You also have a many colors in this camera series. There's also army print, which we absolutely love. So waterproof up to 18 meters, so you can do serious underwater photography with this, all the corals and everything. And then because the corals you generally get up to about 15 meters, 16 meters or so, and even deeper than that, but they say after about 25 meters the water really the sun rays really find it hard to penetrate the water. So 18 meter is really decent. 16 megapixel CMOS sensor, wide 24 mm lens. In fact, it's 24 to 120, I guess. Yep. And your built-in world map, Wi-Fi certified. So too much on this side and all. You see the MRP written here. Is it written somewhere? Okay, 17,950, but you'd get for about 15,000 online on Amazon.in. On Amazon.com you'd get it for $240, and on Amazon.co.uk you'd get it for about £249. There's some other information out there as well. And once you open, you first get the user manual, which has pretty much everything the camera has to offer. It's very comprehensive. We suggest you go through it if you're not a very easy with this kind of cameras. Warranty card, and then some service center list. Open it up further, and then you get to the real camera, and let's check out. There you are, the AW120. We'll come back to that just in a bit. Take this off, and then you have your micro USB 2.0 data cable, and then the wall charger, which is 1 ampere in head flat pin, but fret not, because you have an adapter to be able to use in Asian markets like India. And this guy goes like this. Oops, sorry, it goes like this. Finally, there, see. And then you get this to clean the camera, and then you also have this battery that is 1050 mAh battery, ENEL12, and then your solder strap. Pretty much the usual things, nothing special really. The AW120 is a pretty pocketable camera despite of being a rugged one. The body is mainly made up of very high quality polycarbonate, and then you have very slight metal here and there like this one, and no rubber at all. So the grips and all are also kind of dotted texture on plastic only. And at 213 gram, it's, well, not very heavy, but for an this level of entry level point and shoot camera, this might feel slightly heavier, mainly because of the plastic meat added on top of the inner housing, mainly to prevent from water going in, or to prevent the shock when you accidentally drop it, and also even ice. So this guy is supposed to be waterproof, and it can stay under up to 18 meter of water for about 60 minutes. Now there is a catch in that the water temperature cannot be below 0 degree or above 40 degrees. So you cannot go into your sauna bath with this one. And plus it's also shock proof, so you can drop it from up to about 6.5 feet, and this guy is gonna bear that shock nicely. However, these colors and all might just go off, so you'll have to see to that. And also ice. Now it says that it can operate fine under up to about minus 10 degrees Celsius. Now we did not test. One thing we could not test it because here where I'm reviewing this, the temperature never really goes down that much. I could use the freeze though, but that's not gonna be a practical real life example or real life testing. Anyway, so let's check out some of the controls and other stuff. So on the front side you have the flash, then autofocus assist lamp, your Wi-Fi area here, the stereo mic, and the 5x Nikon zoom lens. Now this guys has a 5x optical zoom plus 4x digital zoom and 24 to 120 mm in 35 mm equivalent of focal range, and the aperture ranges from 2.8 at the 24 mm end to up to 4.9 at the 120 mm range. 4.9 is quite okay, but at the wide end 2.8 is quite fast. Another thing we're really impressed is, despite of being a 5x optical zoom, 12 elements Nikon lens is actually managed to keep the whole lens just in, in this part. It does not actually come out, so that's a feat in itself. It's a full HD and also shock proof, 2 meters, 6.6 feet, and you can see 18 meters, all the stuff. So on top, that's a nice thing to hold the camera. You have the shutter release button, you have the switch on off button, and on top there's also a power indicator. So the moment you switch on, actually you'll get that power thing on. Press it again and it's gonna switch off the camera. Your eyelet for your lanyard here. This way you have this nicely hidden your the battery. So it's an EN-EL 12 battery, 1050 mAh battery, and then your micro HDMI port there, full size SD card slot, and micro USB 2.0 port for charging and data transfer. On this side you have the speaker, you have the GPS tags, and it also can act as a compass, and then a quick action button. We're gonna show that to you. Behind you have the 3-inch LCD monitor, which is not a touch screen, and then your zoom lever there, sometimes inconvenient, dedicated video button, and then your flash indicator, scene mode, playback mode, multi-selector button, menu, and then delete. Below you have the tripod mount only. So that's about it really about the AW120. However, we'll love to drop it in the water, and so this is nothing compared to the 18 meter then you can go to shoot. We tried to shoot in the pool and everything's sunny there, so it does not happen anything, and the screen is actually not touch screen, so obviously there is no question of whether touch screen reacts or not underwater like those waterproof phones, but it clicks photos and everything there just alright. So once you go there, and then if you try to click pictures, and it click pictures, and it click pictures, and it shoots videos and everything just quite fine. So overall, really good upgrade from the AW110. The user interface is really simple. So you have the display area here, and you can see, just to prevent the LCD from getting scratches and the water going in, you have a protective glass on top, so whenever you touch, you'll see the LCD is actually situated below it. First thing, the LCD is quite low res, and that's how you can zoom in or out. You see that's up to 5x. You can see all the information here, 29 minutes if you start shooting video at full HD, and you also see some other stuff as well. You can also choose scene mode. So there is not many semi-automatic features like aperture priority and shutter priority, because this is mainly a true point and shoot camera. So you have your auto mode and smart portrait and some easy auto modes and stuff, and then you also have a quick menu button that gives you your image mode and white balance and continuous shooting, all this stuff. Yeah, you can also shoot at 120 fps, but the photo quality is gonna be, photo size is gonna be really small, your ISO sensitivity. So this guy supports ISO from 125 till 1600 in all mode, and 3200 and 6400 only in auto mode and not in other modes. You have autofocus area mode, continuous autofocus is also there. Autofocus, AF F and AF singles and other things, a quick effect, and then your video mode. So this guy records at let's say full HD 30p progressive and 60i interlace, so you cannot record at 60 progressive, that would be probably too much to handle anyway. And then in 720 30p, you see all the stuff set depending on whether you're shooting at NTFC or at POL. So autofocus area mode in video recording, autofocus mode, full time or other things, to movie, frame rate, wind noise reduction, and then your connection setting. This guy supports Wi-Fi, as I told you here, and the Wi-Fi operation actually is quite quick, and Nikon has really improved their Wi-Fi system now. You have your data locations here, and then some system settings. Yeah. Language and Wi-Fi, also Wi-Fi upload stuff. You need to register though. So now there's this quick action button. So the moment you press this button, you can simply shake the camera to transact. So there you see, you can go to from auto mode to the video mode to quick playback mode and then exit. In auto mode also it shows the arrow. That means the moment you press this, again it will take you to a sub menu, that the easy auto mode, then beach mode, then your snow and landscape and whatnot. And you can also press here to come back, and then because movie does not have that arrow, that means there is only one option. So the moment you press this again, it will start taking movie. You see, press this again and it will come back. Takes some time, though the camera is not very fast, so you can just shake this. If your hands are not free, then it really helps. So let's say if this guy is tied to your shoulders, or this guy tied to your chest, then you can probably just shake it to be able to operate it to some level, although that won't be quite as precise as you might have liked. So the moment you do this, it's gonna go ahead and this, and then you can press this. We would have liked to take a still from here as well. It only starts recording video, does not take a still. So that's about the user interface in general. Pretty straightforward. There is not much learning curve in the user interface, and basic entry-level user interface mainly. The system of the AW120 is, well, not very fast. The screen is not touch screen, but however you do any transaction, it's not gonna be very fast. Let's say if you go here in the video section, you see that it takes some time to stop. Also it takes some time, so it does not lag in all transaction, but in some transaction it actually goes for about a second without responding. That's, I guess it's quite common at this price range, but still something to take note of. Apart from that, everything is fine. The usability, you can easily use the camera with one hand all day long. It's not very heavy, only about 213 grams, including the battery and the SD card. So very convenient, very easy. It also comes with an optional chest guard, or you can say where you can practically tie it whenever you're swimming or you're surfing or doing other things. There are also housings available. There are also accessories available with which you can put it on your surfboard or probably on your hair and other thing to capture the actions. However, it's not very fast. Now the continuous autofocus system, being a contrast detection system, is not as fast as those DSLRs, those face detection system. It's good, but when it's moving very fast, it has problems detecting the subject. Now if your subject is wearing very bright clothes, like a very contrasting clothes to the background, then it can detect relatively easily. The image quality under enough light is good, but not amazing. That it's typical of what you get from a 1x2.3 inch sensor on an entry-level point-and shooter. So under enough light, you're going to be pretty pleased with the 16 MP sensor. However, under low light it shows noise and also artifacts, which is again another typical feature of an entry-level point and shooter. The image quality really is only up to the mark of the mid-level even the phones actually. The flagship phones like the Galaxy S5 for example, or the HTC One M8 or the LG G3's image quality would be better than this camera. And the same almost goes for the video features. Now the recording at full HD 30p is much better because it's progressive over the 60i, despite of being 60 frames per second, because it's interlaced, and so it's relatively lower quality than the progressive one. However, we are more pleased with the video features of this camera than the photo features. Although the continuous autofocus and the subject tracking is not world class, but still the videos are decent. There are no fuzziness, no discoloration, saturation hue are perfect, color renditions are very good thanks to the brilliant Nikon lens here. Under low light definitely you would see noise, but still it's usable. So after all, I would say performance wise this guy is a typical point and shooter at the range of about 10,000 Indian rupees, or about you can say $200 phone or camera. The phone might be slightly more. Some good things about the AW120 is mainly the rugged features, the depth and the time of the amount of time you can keep it underwater, the shock proofness and things are pretty commendable at this price point. Apart from that, we also like the compactness, because generally the rugged cameras are like huge unnecessary bulk, but Nikon has managed to keep this pretty pocketable. Now some of the bad things are mainly the quality. So the images are what you would typically get from an entry-level point and shooter. So I would say this guy is let's say a 10,000 point and shooter, brought up to 15,000 mainly because of the rugged feature, which is totally understandable, because not all of the point and shooter out there will do this. So this kind of creates a niche for itself. The AW series always have. The thing is, its main competitor could be the GoPro White Edition. Now the White Edition at about $299 is slightly more expensive than this, about $50 more expensive than this, but that also comes with a waterproof housing, so the waterproofness is taken care of. Apart from that, that guy actually has a much better wide coverage in the video mode that also records at full HD and at least a higher bitrate than this one, and also the image qualities are better out there on the GoPro, and they're also really small. So there's not much to compare in the size, but in terms of quality the GoPro White Edition is really cool. And even the silver edition, actually the black edition would be very expensive. That would be about $150 expensive, but for an action camera the GoPro or the Sony action cameras are really the way to go. But then if you really want a cheap and a pocketable, nice, rugged point and shoot camera, and you're not really looking for that action and those added feature like those super views and prune modes and all those unnecessary jazz, you just want a good camera that you can take it to your swimming pool, or probably whenever you go to the beach every other day and all those stuff, then this guy is pretty good. It's priced very reasonably for a rugged camera. That's what we can say. Thank you.